And we're live.
This is Tracy.
And this is Sean.
This is Shop Talk. Hey, Michelle, if you decide to click on that link on my Facebook page and you're watching this, yeah. Just know I didn't have any ice in the shop. I guess we might want to start with Daryl.
Yeah, I think so.
Our regular listeners and followers know that Daryl's a musician and that he is.
And most of them probably know Scott is.
Scott Haggard. Daryl's been out on tour with Scott Haggard, and they had an incident Sunday.
Yeah.
Their motor coach caught on fire while they were driving. Everybody got out safe. Everybody's alive, and they're all back home here in Alabama. The motor coach, total loss. All personal belongings gone.
Yep.
All band equipment gone. If you go to Andalusia Armory's Facebook page, we have pinned to the top a GoFundMe page that a local watering hole has set up that Daryl has played at a few times, where local musicians are going to donate their time, and the cover charge is going to go to helping Daryl and Scott replace some equipment. And the GoFundMe is for those who are a little too far away and they want to donate and can't be there Thursday night.
Yeah.
It is a legit thing. So
yeah, it was all. Was it not also set up by that same hall?
watering hole. Yeah.
Same place.
Yeah, they found.
Doing the benefit.
Yeah, I don't know if they found out through one of my messages to one of our musician friends who's we've worked closely with.
I'm sure it was,
or
probably
saw Daryl's post because they do follow Daryl's posts and our shop posts about the music.
Yeah.
I don't care. They stepped up quick.
Yeah.
And they got things together quick. So, and any of the local musicians who have donated their time, if you're all watching or listening, thank you. I'll see you Thursday night there, unless short of hell and high water.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be there.
Yeah.
I have heard from Daryl this morning. He regrets he is not able to attend tonight with us, but he's still a little shaken up and did manage a few bumps and bruises. So it's understandable.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, I can think of a lot of things I've read and seen in the news the past few days. But the one that really got me tonight, security risk at the Pentagon because of the immigrant intern program. Really, who would have thought immigrants being interns at our nation's military planning headquarters and military joint headquarters would be a problem?
I know, you would think that would be.
Yeah, there's no security risks there, not the least possibility of it. Must have been some of that military intelligence going on in that decision. And a little too much political correctness. But yeah, I'm not going to finish eating that. I don't want eating bark, artificially flavored bark.
That's even worse than pemmican right there.
That artificial maple flavor in that one? Yeah. Oh man, I'm torn. Yes, maybe, no, maybe, not sure. Maybe if we mix them together.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna get that taste out of my mouth now.
I'm telling you, that you fix pemmican up right, and it's not that bad. Especially.
First of all, if I'm eating my dog's food, it has gotten that bad.
If you fix it and use it the way it's meant to be used.
Yeah. As a thickener for a stew or
it's
soup.
meant to be used as, if you need to eat it straight up,
You can't.
because you're on the move, you can't.
No, not because you're on the move. It's because you're on the move and shit's getting bad. Your dog's looking at you like, really, that's mine.
But if you use it with some edible plants that you found, put it into making a stew with it.
Some of the edible plants I know, yeah, I wouldn't eat them unless I was really hurting. Because, yeah, they don't taste good.
No, I mean, like,
some wild onions or
plants
something.
we got around here.
Yeah, some wild chives, onions,
Yeah.
leeks, yeah. Or if all you got left,
some of the leafy greens are
yeah.
also.
Oh yeah, dandelion.
Yeah.
Lots of or if all you got left is 1 hind quarter of a squirrel, and there's 3 of those.
Yeah.
You toss a little bit of that in there, make a good thicker broth, and yeah.
Yeah, because basically at that point it's a bouillon and a thickener.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's basically
because one of the things you do with it is
once
make
you wet it basically just
pasty or falls apart.
Yeah, and so if you put it into a bowl of water,
yeah,
it's gonna just make soup.
Yeah, basically that's one of the ways you eat it is make a broth.
Yeah, I found this great YouTube channel. This guy, I can remember what his damn name is.
Being that I was a chef, I'm sure if I sat down and made a mess of my wife's kitchen for a day or two, I could come up with probably a really good modern style recipe for it. Don't worry, hon, if you're watching, which I know she's not, she can't get on. She's lucky she can operate the microwave when the power goes out and it comes back on. Stop that. Just stop it. So I know she's not watching. If she is, I'm in real trouble now. But no, I'm not going to come home and mess your kitchen.
Yeah, if my chiller load,
she hates it when I cook.
I'll find the page, but
being a chef,
this guy does like authentic, survival cooking and like can't remember what he calls it, but it's like old world, like voyeurs, not voyeurs.
Voyeurs. We know a show online.
Voyeur, the Canadian like
keep trying.
Checker people.
Keep trying to get out of it. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. But see, my problem is the only venison I ever come across was the real deal from
well, it depends on what you make it from.
The Seneca Nation area, the Mohawks, stuff like that. Where it was dried berries, acorns, some bear or goose lard, and some very little ground jerky. Not the tastiest thing in the world. Oh, you could substitute some raccoon fat for the bear or goose, but I think the bear or goose is more stable during the warm months. Both of which will grow mold on them.
Townsend's is the name of the. It's like James Townsend and Son, I think is, what is the, Townsend's is the, name of the YouTube channel. And he does a lot of, like. 17th
Pioneer,
century,
trapper,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Native American.
Yeah, and
Maybe,
a lot of this
maybe
stuff centers
Viking.
around, a lot of this stuff centers around like, the people who were up around the Canadian American border.
Quebec and Lake
And,
Champlain, yeah. Well, very
That
familiar.
area, when they first started coming in
Yeah,
and
those were the
intermingling
trapping
with
centers,
the
yeah.
natives and stuff, and like the stuff that they brought in with them and what they had learned from the natives. And then there were some, there was a group of people up there, I forgot what he called them, but there was a group of people up there that were a mix of the two. It was actually,
Yeah, I know exactly.
intermingling
I know
together.
exactly the group. I got a
And
great uncle who was a descendant.
yeah,
of that
supposedly
group of
that's
people.
where the earliest.
That's where
use of-
Cajuns came from.
No, that's after they moved further south.
Yeah, I know that, but that's that same group, basically.
Probably.
Oh.
But, that's supposed to be like the earliest use of picking and some other stuff that he talks about. But
I'd like to know what some of the old Europe ones were before
yeah,
New World exploration.
you know, there was a channel I found the other day that would have some of that. I can't remember what it was. He was talking about castles and shit. I was down a YouTube rabbit hole.
I'm sure the Vikings ate.
About
Yeah,
castles.
I'm sure the Vikings ate plenty of that rotten pickle. Well,
Yeah,
it wasn't
the
pickle. It
rotten
was just rotten fish. But yeah. And we're gonna skip. Yeah, we don't want to know what they did. I want to know what the guys in Russia did. In Germany.
They ate snow. That's what they did.
Borscht. Pounded dry beetroot.
That's probably what they ate.
I imagine that.
Because
I imagine that. Yeah. There's a yeah. You wouldn't have to actually drown. You just pull beets and hang. Actually, you just get a good pickaxe. You dig them right out the ice. It don't hurt them to get froze. You just leave them right in the ground. You know where they're at.
Yeah. But yeah, that guy's got all kinds of stuff that, different ways to use that as basically a starter.
Yeah, kind of like some of the stuff the 49ers took up to Alaska and shit.
Yeah. Well, it was like a lot of the companies that
they made the shit and packaged it.
Well, these guys were hauling shit, across country and
That's
stuff.
what they
And
supplied
this
them
is
with.
what the company supplied them with. This was part of the rations they gave me. They gave me like a bag of rice,
Old fashioned
pack
MRE.
of
Old fashioned MRE.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe some ship's biscuits.
Yeah.
So,
Those weren't called biscuits. Hardtack.
yeah, well, they call them biscuits in Canada, I think.
Well,
Because he called them ship's biscuits, and then down below that in the description, it was also called hardtack.
yeah.
So I
It all
guess
depends
that
on
was
what-
what they called
It
it.
all depends on where you're
Yeah,
from.
and they weren't spelt the same as we spelled biscuit either.
No, that was
It
that
was like-
French influence.
Yeah, it was like BISKIT or yeah, it had a K in there.
No, you mean they spell it more
Yeah,
English
it
than
probably
French?
wasn't the French Canadian.
Yeah.
It was probably the English part.
I'm thinking I was a chef and I'm American and I put a
Because
I put a Cuban biscuit.
part of there's British,
Oh yeah.
and then there's
Well, there's Ontario.
and he talked
The Ontario province kind of bounced back and forth for
Well,
a
he
while.
talked a lot about the British,
Occupation.
well, about the British having to bail them out of a bunch of shit.
Yeah, that
So,
too.
yeah,
That
so,
too, yeah.
so I'm pretty sure it was more,
It all depends
what he
on,
was talking about was more from the British side, but,
all depends on who controlled Lake Champlain at the time.
but I think this guy's from
In
the
the Hudson
US
River.
up in that area where he's
He's probably
Most of
around,
his stuff, yeah,
I bet he's from around the northern end of Lake Champlain.
probably, because that's the area where,
He knows Roger Roberts. If he don't know that name and he's from that area, we need to beat his ass a little. Because that goes right to the area he's talking about and the area. But that's who the Army Rangers consider their founder, their father.
yeah,
Roger Roberts was an enterprising colonial who joined the British military
yeah,
here up in New York and around the Lake Champlain area, and became known for Rogers Rangers. They actually let him
I knew
private.
that name, I couldn't
Yeah,
think about
they actually
why.
let him
Yeah,
privateer,
studying
run his group independently of their operations, but to support their operations.
Yeah,
And he gave the French hell and the Indians hell. Yeah, and that's where the Rangers get their live off legs. That's how Roger Roberts trained his guys. And the next man to take from that was Ethan Allen and his Green Mountain Boys. I think Ethan Allen might have served with Roger Roberts. Roberts wanted to become a British military officer. Yeah. And the British never, as much as he accomplished, he was a lowly colonial. Yeah. And he wanted that status in the land and the title that the bring, and he never got it. But then Ethan Allen picked up during our revolution with the Green Mountain Boys up in that area. Yeah. And then somehow the Army hit on it with their Rangers and to hold it off the land, training and stuff. No, I was just a lowly cook in the Navy. I did. And no, not like John Claude Van Damme.
That wasn't.
Yeah, I was just. I was.
That was.
That
was Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Casey Ryback.
Yeah. No, I was a real Navy cook. Yeah.
Well, so was he.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just a cook.
Obviously, he was a chief and only wore a t-shirt and blue jeans. Okay. Let's see. Oh, got a New York State congressman that might actually be a real Republican or at least a conservative. Yeah. Got some legislation national in the Congress. What do they call it again? Second Amendment Guarantee Act.
Saga.
Second Amendment Guarantee Act.
Saga.
Yeah, I don't know how they're pronounced.
I assume it's spelled like Saga.
Yeah, it doesn't have meaning. Yeah. So we're not talking the Video Game Council.
Second Amendment
Guarantee Act. Yeah,
SAGA.
And basically, well, that was spelled in for more than just New York State politics. It would also knock out
California stuff.
Chicago, DC, Jersey. It would put a stop to a lot of bullshit that has gone on since 1970 to date. At least on the state level. Yeah. The ATF is trying to correct itself currently. We'll see how that goes, because I haven't seen them come out strong for the Hearing Protection Act in any way, shape, or form. No. Which you think they would with what they've been saying. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's all just been.
That's smoke and mirrors. Here, look, we're trying to do something. Ha, 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 ha. Yeah. That's the same thing. Congress ain't moving on Trump's healthcare reform, so he's going to target theirs. Yeah, I want to see that.
Well, I mean,
in that case, you ought to be ripping it right away from him tomorrow, Trump, because not only have they not moved on your civilian healthcare reform, but the VA is still a frigging mess.
Yeah.
I speak from experience. I call them bastards this week. Oh, and I'm gonna have to go up there and check in as a walk-in patient.
Yeah.
Which means 2-hour drive, get up at 5, leave by 6 to get there by 7:30. So I'm first in line as a walk-in, and no guarantee they will even see me that day.
Yeah.
And wait till 4:30 when they say, "Oh yeah, the doctor's going home." And 2-hour drive back. Yeah. Why veterans have not banded together and taken over the VA state headquarters and in Washington, D.C., I don't know, because I know there's some guys out there that know a lot more than me.
Well, you know, occasionally I'll hear somebody that talks about how they've never had a problem or whatever. I don't know who these people are. They're just random people that say some shit about it. Everybody I know that actually has to deal with them. I work with a guy that has to deal with them on a regular basis. I don't remember what his injury or
It
whatever
doesn't matter. He served, he got out honorably.
He was in Vietnam.
That makes him, okay, right there, that puts him on a whole nother level. As far as I'm
Well,
concerned.
he could have a lot of things that are not even visible.
Yeah, we don't even know he's got yet.
Yeah. But he served in Vietnam. He was an Army medic.
Okay, he just earned points with me.
Yeah. There's you got all kinds of issues with them. Barry has had issues with them.
Well, let me speak from experience. I came from, the VA is divided up into different regions.
Yeah.
I came from New York.
Yeah.
I've met plenty of veterans up there who have had issues, and I'd say up there it was 60-40, depending on the issues that they're trying to resolve.
Yeah.
And from personal experience, I got very, very lucky. I got a very good doctor who was a veteran.
Yeah.
And served in Vietnam.
Yeah.
He was a Navy doctor on the Forrestal in the Gulf and left 2 days before the mishap.
Yeah.
Well,
see, that don't count because you're kindred spirits. Because you both were in the Navy.
Both in the surface fleet.
Yeah. So.
But then again, also, the nurse, the staff I dealt with.
Yeah.
I was lucky that I got staff members, again, some were prior military, some were current reserve. So again, but you'll find that in a lot of VAs.
Yeah.
And just because they're prior military or current reserve doesn't mean they're worth up.
Yeah.
But I was lucky and got to deal with people who had pride in their job and cared about the people they were working for. And that makes a huge difference in how far they'll go out and stick their neck. Also, I got to meet some people who weren't afraid to stick their neck out on that chopping block.
Yeah.
If they knew the veteran was being wronged.
Yeah.
You know, they would go to bat for you. And my doctor, he just didn't give a shit. Because the VA, like any hospital, is politics when it comes to head of departments and stuff. And he just got sick of the political game and did not give a shit. He decided, I don't care if I stay just a practitioner the whole damn time. Screw you, I'm gonna be that thorn in your ass the whole time I'm here. Yeah, the man only talked about retiring for 8 years and was gonna retire every year. Yeah. Yeah. And he could have. I mean, he
But
had
then flash forward to down here.
night and day.
You
Night
you
and-
deal with Montgomery, right?
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
Night.
And it's, same as the guy that I work with.
The best comparison I can make, night and day.
Yeah.
Got staff down here that's lazy, staff down here that don't give a shit, staff down here that.
Customers that have come in here and said the same
Okay,
thing.
I'm sorry, when I see a bullpen area half the size of this room with 9 to 12 receptionists slash nurses. Some could be just receptionists, data entry, some could be just nurses, but 9 to 12 people in it. There are phones ringing, and I see them on their cell phone texting.
Yeah.
Or having a conversation with their kid or their girlfriend, or telling someone to hold please, and standing up and not answering a veteran's question, but bullshitting with that veteran they know from the club or from the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Or from church.
Yeah.
You know, and not bullshitting for, hi, hey, good to see you. How you doing today? Okay, great. And pick back the phone. No, stand there for 5+ minutes doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And they got a line of maybe 2 or 3 people there also waiting to check out or check in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, and honestly, the biggest problem is these foreign doctors there. They come to the U.S., normally sent by their country of origin, with their college paid by their country of origin a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because they are to come here, get their education, and go home and put it to use.
A lot of them don't go, a lot of them stay.
Oh,
here
yeah, and you
and
want to
practice
know,
for
you
years and
want to
years
know
and
why?
years.
And I'm not even talking the private practice guys. I'm talking in the VA system. Why? Because the government says, here, sign this contract and you don't have to go home and we'll pay you more.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're getting more pay, but they ain't getting jack shit compared to that doctor that decides to skip out on his student visa and just go to work for the hospital.
Yeah.
Why are we contracting foreign doctors to take care of our military veterans?
The biggest issue with them is the communication barrier. Because they have no bedside manner. Okay.
Yep. Well, you're talking foreign doctors in general sometimes.
Well, yes, they are strictly facts, and it's not even so much.
They don't treat the
It's
patient.
not so
they
much
treat the
the
symptom.
direct. Yeah, it's not the direct communication barrier. You know, the having a
That's
conversation
bad enough.
between the two. That's usually bad enough. But it's the actual communication, the being able to relay the information to you.
Or
and-
up
and
the
have
chain. Or up the chain.
some sort of,
Rapport.
yeah, empathy.
Knowing the patient other than his chart.
Yeah, like you like to talk about how he never even looks at you.
No, he
just looks
stares at the
chart,
computer,
looks at the computer
puts things
and-
into the computer and
Yeah.
it spits out what he's supposed to do. Hell, I can do that from home. But the other
Well,
problem.
he was a tech support agent for Dell before he got that job, you see.
The other problem.
He was looking up the,
Yeah, you get into other problems with that too. One, where he comes from, there is a class system.
yeah,
And this class never associates or recognizes the other class.
yeah,
And with his education, that now moved him up a class level. And he thinks I'm beneath him.
yeah,
So that's a cultural issue.
yeah,
Then you have this doctor who has no idea about the political going-ons up above him in administration.
yeah,
And I think they neutered him at some point. or most VA doctors have been neutered.
Yeah.
Because they won't challenge the administration.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yet they
that's
make,
one of the reasons
they
he
make-
sticks to his,
yeah,
to
well,
his little chart.
yeah, but
and
see, that's the
diagram.
problem. He's getting paid exactly what he's worth. A data entry person for Dell.
Yeah,
Because he won't tell the administration, screw you, we need this patient needs that, this department needs this.
yeah,
Your salary needs to be cut, mine needs to be increased because I'm the one doing all the work.
yeah.
You're a damn bean counter. This ain't a public corporation. There are no shareholders worried about the bottom line.
Well, that's exactly what it is, because he's basically using a decision tree here.
He is.
And
No,
he
he
has,
is.
he has a decision, he has like two choices here of things he can do for this problem that you
And
have.
you want to know the worst
You
part
know,
about that?
one of them is that he can be an asshat to you. The other one is that he can give you a Tylenol.
Yeah.
So,
And you want to know?
or, my bad, not be broken.
Yeah. You want to know the worst part about that decision tree? It was actually the universities, the medical universities, that got together with the tech universities and came up with this thing. It was supposed to help.
Yeah.
Now,
Well,
it
can.
in a third
if it's
world
used
country,
properly.
No,
If you use it in conjunction with everything else.
possibly.
you're-
No, because a good doctor's going to look at that and say, screw that damn thing. No, seriously, it was more geared, and they've done studies since saying that how that was a mistake.
Well, even when you use the decision tree thing, when you're like troubleshooting
Yeah.
a tech problem, you still have to use all of your other skills and knowledge.
If you have
as
them, if you have them.
Well, if you don't have them, all you're gonna get is two
Garbage
choices
in,
here.
garbage out.
Yeah, when there's actually 17 choices.
And well,
But when you look at all the other stuff,
now that computer
can
diagnostic
figure it out.
stuff, when you just put in the blood work and basic symptoms, that is great for some don't get on me anybody if you are one, or if you are married to one, dating one, or have a family member who is one. An RN or a nurse practitioner and working in a third world country under basically worse than running it out of our shop,
yeah.
just to get the people the basics. It's great for
For a basic or a.
It's
or
great
to get you in here.
Yeah.
And you wanna be here.
Yeah.
If you wanna
But-
get in the ballpark.
if you can
You
only
can kind
if
of
you
get
only
you-
got the resources to take care of the
Well,
ballpark.
that's all the decision tree
Yeah.
really does anyway, even
And-
when you're using it for tech problem or
And
a electrical problem or mechanical problem.
and I'm sure in the military, it's saving lives because it gives that corpsman, that medic,
Yeah.
that are manning a first aid station, that extra level up that they can access and do some stuff
Yeah.
right then and there that's going to greatly increase when they get to the field hospital,
Yeah.
which then again greatly increases when they get to the regular hospital.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's a bad thing, it's just, unfortunately, this guy
You have
probably,
to use it for what it's meant to
yeah,
be used
really,
for.
my doctor probably really did work as a Dell tech guy through high school, and they gave him that thing, and he's like, oh, I know how to use it. Yep, this is what we do, this is what we do. And the odds of him seeing this, and him even remembering who the hell I am,
Well, he never looks at you, so.
exactly, and he's never gonna look at this, so I'm really not worried about saying, I'd say his name if I could pronounce it.
Yeah.
Because there just might be someone higher up in the VA system that is watching this, and if I could remember how to pronounce his name, possibly something might get done, you never know. Yeah. Oh, that's the other thing in New York, I kind of had names I could drop. If it wasn't my doctor had names he could drop too, and he also knew where some skeletons were, and we weren't afraid to use them conjunctively, which really ruffled some feathers. Yeah, Trump, yeah, hatchet, just take the old executive hatchet to Congress and Senate's health care and their retirement. Please. Trust me, the masses will show up with our muskets if we have to help you, if they threaten you badly enough. Anything new on the and guns or?
Not really. I mean,
There-
there were some guys that went to TriggerCon over the weekend. But apparently that was a pile of shit. So
Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry, I'm a little flashy. Trigger con is just like really.
well, it's basically just a really small version of SHOT Show,
Which is
apparently it's really small.
well, I just think SHOT Show.
Yankee Marshall bought some flip flops to walk around up there in because he like took his good shoes or something and he saw
Hadn't
how small it
broken.
was. And,
Hadn't broken. Oh, didn't need to walk
Didn't
that
need-
far.
well, apparently he don't like wearing shoes, so he just went and bought some flip flops to walk around in since it wasn't that big of a plane.
Geez, I'm gonna have to go get some palm fronds and some cane and make some Ho Chi Minh sandals and send to them. No, I'm not that bad off yet, Yankee. So you're gonna be waiting a while. They don't have me doing basic arts and crafts just yet. Oh my goodness. I have noticed on some of the local gun forum things I'm on.
Yeah,
Boy, there's a shitload of ARs out there,
yeah,
but no one wants to lower their price.
yeah.
So yeah, it is. But
Well, the thing is, a lot of companies, the
oh, no,
build
I'm
your
talking
own company,
individuals.
well, the build
Selling.
your own companies are selling shit so damn cheap that you're not going to unload your AR. No,
Well,
you're
just
trying
the
to sell one of those 10 ARs that you built back when Hillary was fixing to get elected.
Okay, look,
No.
look. I'm just.
No,
Gonna,
you're not going to sell those things to get any money out of them. People are trying to sell them and get.
I'm
money
not
out of
going.
them.
I'm not going to use a name. And if anybody from one of those companies thinks it's their name, it's not you, and I'm not using it, and I will neither confirm nor deny if you call or ask. But I'm gonna let a little cat out the bag. One of the companies we deal with, and we don't deal with friggin' ATI.
Well, they're just an importer anyway.
Well, that is true, but I mean, their ARs are, what's another, just bottom of the barrel, oh my God, it's compared to a Cobra pistol AR.
Yeah. Well, I think everybody knows that about AT.
Well, I would say there's another one or two out there that are that level.
Oh, yeah.
It's not one of, but them, what you can get a new one of their guns for under 600 now, under 400 maybe. Their AR.
The ATIs,
Yeah.
that polymer hybrid thing that they built, is like under 300, I think.
Okay, so you can get, it might work AR for
Because you can get you can
300.
You can get a mil-spec AR from several different companies for under 400.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm talking even higher end than that.
yeah.
And I was going to be able to offer these things for just under 6.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys out there who want $900 for your AR, I don't care what kind of accessories you have on it, the accessories you eat, it's
Yeah,
kind
pretty
of,
much
it's
it
kind of,
better be a boutique rifle
Yeah.
if you want that much for it at this point.
and,
Because
and,
you can buy a boutique rifle for just a little more than that, right?
and have an Edelbrock or Thrush exhaust on your car does not make it worth more. I don't care if it's aftermarket and you had to pay for it, it don't make it worth any more. You eat that cost. Custom paint job, yeah, you eat that on a car.
Yeah.
So yeah, all you guys out there with these standard Colt Armalite, even the SIGs I've seen,
Yeah.
with all your fans, I don't care if you've got an EOTech ACOG. First of all, that's a piece of shit. It don't work in extreme heat. I'm in South Alabama. I need something that's going to stay
Well,
calibrated.
it's the temperature shift that causes.
Yeah.
And-
Last
and
night got down to
here,
65.
yeah,
Yesterday it was
kind of-
898.
It's not the same as it is over in fucking Afghanistan.
Or possibly Arizona.
But you get a huge shift in temperature and humidity.
Well, yesterday,
And
98 degrees. Last night, 65.
Well, I've seen gas sealed.
Yeah, O-rings shrink
Yeah.
in the temperatures around here,
I've
or
seen-
expand,
I've
or the
seen
gas,
high scopes cloud up on the
or the
inside.
gas expand to where it leaks
Yeah.
past the O-rings because that damn sun's hot down here. Yeah, and if you're laying out on the range with no shade, you're shooting, yeah, you never screw up your good scope, possibly. So yeah, so I don't care what kind of I don't care whose scopes. That's another pet peeve of mine. Stop paying for the name, pay for the quality. Also, if you're selling a used rifle with your scope on it, well, guess what? The scope's used too. And instead of losing a third out the box with the like you do with the rifle, you lose 50% out the box with the scope because the person has no idea how you treated it.
Yeah.
And until they have it inspected well, which they're going to pay for,
Yeah.
or they can do that inspection themselves, it's worthless. I mean, we don't even consider it when pricing used guns. We tell the customer.
As far as you know,
Well, first of all,
when you turn the adjustment on that reticle,
it may or may
it
not
may
move.
not move.
Yeah. But the other thing,
Or you tap the side of it and it may go.
you put a $1,200 scope
I've
on
seen
it.
that
Yeah, you
happen.
put a $1,200 scope on a $600 rifle. They're both used now.
Yeah.
I got it on my shelf. There's no saying that might be a bigger power scope than the customer might want, or the customer may not want a scope on that rifle because it's got iron sights and they're an iron sight shooter like me.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if you bring that rifle into a shop to sell it, and the shop has to try and resell that rifle, when somebody comes in to look at that rifle, it's a used rifle they're looking at, they're wanting to buy with a used scope on it, they're not going to value that near as much as they would if you were trying to sell that to an individual. If you took your rifle to your buddy and tried to sell it to him, he's going to value all that crap you got on your rifle more than he would if he looked at it in the shop. Rifle in both cases.
Yeah, I don't know. You bring me an AR that's got so much shit hanging off of it, you just made it bigger than any World War II issue gun. I'm gonna be like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Get that Lego away from me. You bring me a stripped down basic A2.
Yeah.
That's when I'm gonna light up. But I'm not the gadget guy.
Yeah.
Now, Daryl, I have blocked you. I'm gonna keep this one simple. He's got 4 things attached to it before the end of the day. I did. Okay, Daryl. Yeah, he's probably watching. No, we didn't throw you under the bus every week. You've been gone. No, wouldn't dream of it. Oh boy, is he gonna want to talk Thursday? Oh, jeez.
Well, not really a lot going on there.
No. We'll have a little segment on lawsuits next week.
Maybe if it's.
Oh, it will be. I haven't talked to you about where I'm at, have I?
No, the last I heard was you had sent the,
Stay?
yeah.
Yeah. That was interesting on how I had to, I actually still have one hell of a vocabulary once I get back into it.
Yeah.
And I actually had to rein myself in personally and rage-wise, and then dumb myself down a little bit just because I did not want to seem a certain way in requesting to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, fun, interesting. And we actually have an opinion from a higher court judge on what he thought of this lower court judge's action.
Yeah, now I was here when.
Yeah, well, I'm just filling them in here, but not gonna give away too much yet because it's not 100% done, and
yeah,
you know, but yeah, boy, we could make 2 shows out, 3 shows out of that. One just based on what to do or not do in your shop, and 2, public relations, and I'm gonna put a big "get the fuck out" sign on the driveway. And 3, the legal that we're faced without a lawyer. Do not suggest that, even if you think you're well versed. Of course, Lincoln did say the person who acts as his own attorney is a fool for a client and a jackass for a lawyer. But he said that while he was a lawyer, so he was looking for business. I'm just saying that was a great ad campaign.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying it's not can't be somewhat true.
Yeah.
You really gotta, if you're gonna decide to be your own lawyer or try to, you better be on your game, or at least maybe it's an area you know more because you dealt with this.
Yeah.
Well, being a federal licensee.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to know, we are supposed to know the federal laws regulating firearms and everything we deal with in our shop.
Yeah.
Whether explosive, destructive. I don't know the explosive side for shit.
Yeah.
Don't care to. The Form 3 side, Daryl took care of.
Yeah.
But we got it.
Form 1.
Form 1 now? I don't.
Class 3.
Class 3.
All that extra
yeah.
stuff that requires extra
licensing and extra knowledge and extra knowledge. Yeah.
All that.
But just as a basic of FFL, you're supposed to know the federal laws governing the transfer of firearms.
Yeah.
Long guns and handguns. If you only deal in long guns, it simplifies.
Yes.
You also have to know individual state laws and jurisdictions within those states.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you were in Chicago
or New York, or well,
if you were in Illinois,
yeah,
then certain parts such as Chicago have different laws.
Same as New York, we have different.
New York City.
And well, see, here's the thing:
you
could have a county.
Yeah.
That has one, you gotta know the state jurisdiction laws, the county jurisdiction, and you can still have a city within that county that has others. Yeah. And so when we're transferring a gun, if we're not sure, I have a pretty good grasp of those states and those municipalities within certain states.
Yeah.
That I know, oh, I better double check, because I know there's extra stuff we got to comply with. If it's New York State, yeah, I came from there, so I do have a little advantage when it comes to knowing that particular.
Yeah.
And yeah, New York State.
Well, even some of them are a little bit, because.
And they've probably changed.
You don't
well
keep up on them.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too.
Which they're a little easier to keep up on because you still have connection up there. So,
Yeah, yeah, but that's the other thing. What you might have done last year with Illinois and Chicago has now changed this year.
Yeah.
Or this month.
Yeah.
I knew a little about New Jersey because.
Well, they were so close.
Yeah. So you do get to know some of your border states. I did have some customers in Michigan, Upper Peninsula. They get mad if you just say Michigan. Yeah. So, because they
Well, here
it's kind of like
you get a lot of people from Florida.
yeah,
And there's a lot of people coming from Northwest Florida.
yeah. But Florida, I'd have other jurisdictions other than state governing most of our stuff.
Yeah.
It's not a general problem, especially with the part of
Well,
Florida
the
that we
laws
got.
are not that much different in here in
They're
Florida.
not.
So, I mean, other than the fact that,
Yeah, it's kind of like New York State and
Yeah.
Pennsylvania
you have
were
to transfer the,
handguns.
the handguns. So,
It's kind of like New York State and Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania was a little easier on some things. So,
yeah.
And because I was literally like I am here to Florida. Actually, I was closer to Pennsylvania than I am now to Florida.
That's pretty close because we can just about spit in Florida from here.
I was 12 miles from Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's what,
25 or so, yeah. So, not by much closer, but I was close. It counts.
You may not even be 25 miles from here.
No, not from here, from
That's
maybe
considered from
Andalusia or
Andalusia city limits.
Yeah. Yeah.
25 miles. And that's, yeah.
And if I bought the
We're
house,
a couple of miles outside of that.
if I bought the house I was looking at in Wayne, you could have literally walked to the end of my driveway. No, literally, you could see the sign "Welcome to Florida." You could literally walk out and spit.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Baker is right next to Wayne. I mean,
Yeah.
Wayne is only like this big.
And
I mean,
that last driveway on the left, just before you cross into Florida on 137.
Yeah.
I was looking at that property.
oh yeah.
Yeah, there was actually one parcel between me, and there was only a couple acres between me and the Florida line.
Yeah.
Yeah, because initially when we looked at the property, we thought we were buying on the Florida line.
Oh.
But some ways I wish I had bought that, and in many other ways I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah.
I know some people who live in Wayne. To an extent, it's worse than the mountaintop I lived on in New York. It's also in the next hurricane zone.
Yeah.
For insurance.
It's in the, it used to,
zone
it was
one.
in hurricane zone. Now we're in levels of hurricane zone.
Oh, okay, well, whatever. I'm talking
Well,
for insurance
Yeah,
purposes.
well, back in the day, that would have been hurricane zone, and up this way would not have been. But then several years ago, they changed the way they did that, so you had different tiers of zones.
Yeah, well, for
Instead
insurance,
of just being, okay, down there,
yeah,
this is where the hurricane zone starts. Instead, now it's like, okay, this is, level 1, this is level 2,
that's just so the insurance company can charge
Yeah,
more money
exactly.
here now.
That's exactly right.
but-
When I lived in Ox,
You were in,
during that
2
time,
or
it's when it
3.
changed,
Yeah.
right? And so our insurance went up, and I think it was, I can't remember which one it was. It was sometime in the 90s, though, like late 90s.
yeah, I have no clue.
Pretty
Much if you live in Florida, you're in the 1.
Yeah.
Even north central Florida, you're still in the 1. But yeah, I mean, I think someplace just south of Carolina. I mean, that's where it switches up to 1.
Yeah, it's just the other side.
And it's
like just before you get into Wayne.
Yeah, and it's a pretty big jump premium wise.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's not little increments. It can, the first one's pretty hefty.
Yeah,
And when I found that out, I redrew the line where I was looking at South Alabama.
yeah. It's also a, there's also a tornado alley through Wayne,
Yeah,
so,
kind of like
yeah.
I'm wanting between the two.
But the one in Ock is because of all the trailers on the outskirts. Because there's trailer parks all along the
Well,
outskirts.
that's probably
of Ock.
Wayne's problem with Florida.
Maybe.
Now we just alienated 3/4 of our customers.
Yeah. I think in actuality, Wayne's issue is that line that goes through there where it looks like somebody cut a swath right through all those trees.
Okay, yeah, it could be.
And I think that's what it is.
Well, you
because
do.
You get a lot of straight line winds right through there for one thing.
Which actually kill a tornado.
Yeah, but usually if you have straight line winds, you're not having tornadoes at that time.
Yeah, but the straight line winds can be just
But there's also nothing
devastating.
to break the tornadoes as they're going through.
It's
so
not
they just-
break them. It's, now you have forest, bare ground.
Yeah.
Bare ground heats more, creates
Yes.
upflow, which creates downflow, which creates a circular motion vertically. You get a straight line wind to hit that sucker, and now it's horizontal and spinning this way instead of this way. And voila, tornado.
Yeah.
Just watch the Weather Channel.
And then that little pond over there is up over there.
No, what's funny?
I saw
What's
that
funny is
happen
when it rains.
when you were
What's funny is when it rains fish and frogs
That's-
5 miles away.
That's what I'm talking about. It like picked the water up out of most of the water out of that pond.
And the fish and
It
frogs.
dumped it a couple of miles the other way.
And possum. Forget Sharknado. We got Gatornado.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. They just did. They had an incident. Where was it? Someplace in Europe
Yeah,
where it rained fish.
yeah,
And it was a water spout that had come inland and had enough updraft that the fish actually ended up floating in the thunderstorm cloud for a little ways.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tornado.
Down there, it usually,
Water
it does like
spout.
quite a bit down there. There's a few little ponds down there that
Gets up dry every
yeah,
now and
it
again.
sucks them up. And it's like, maybe a mile or so where it dumps it, it's pretty close.
Still. Can you imagine me looking out at your back?
Yeah, I know.
Going,
Imagine,
and there goes a 10-pound bag.
Yeah. Cross town. or
Shit.
something.
Martha, we got dinner. Didn't even have to well burn. And yes, I'm allowed to make fun of rednecks and hillbillies and southern folk because I am one and was one or part one before. So
I think you were more mountain man.
when I was but I mean, you got to remember half my family's southern, so yeah, I come down here and make fun of you the way y'all talk and some of your traditions.
You've been down here long enough now that you sort of, every now and then you develop a southern drawl.
You notice that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, the wife hates that. Oh my God, does she hate that?
Oh yeah, 'cause she has absolutely none.
Yeah,
Neither do your daughters. I mean, they both.
Caroline has picked it up a little bit.
A
She
little
was
bit.
younger and went to school.
But she still sounds like somebody
A
from New
Yankee,
York
a
trying
Yankee.
to talk southern.
Yeah, and that's what happens when you transplant a Yankee.
Yeah.
They kind of screw that nice, slow-paced, drawn-out.
Yeah.
And I see that's what people have told me. They said, yeah, you picked up that slower, easier tone in your voice. You haven't picked up much of the accent, but we can definitely see that. Yeah. I'm gonna have to go visit New York for a while, get rid of that. So I sound intelligent again. Did I? No, I didn't just do that. Doesn't make you intelligent. I didn't say it made me intelligent. I just said sound intelligent. You did not hear the words. Yeah. No, yeah. I still, I have. It's the news. It's sensationalization. Yeah, but what I remember as a kid hating when there would be a major hurricane or a tornado that hit someplace in Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas.
Yeah.
On the news up in New York. It never failed. I don't care if they were in the middle of downtown Charlotte in the rich section with the big mansions.
Yes.
They always had that 38-year-old platinum blonde Dolly Parton hairstyle with just one tooth and a baby on each hip and a can of beer in her hand, with her curls, no, I'm talking right from the mansions in Charlotte,
Oh.
you know, with a can of beer in her hand, spitting chalk, in her house coat and fuzzy slippers, telling them just how bad that hurricane or tornado was.
Yeah.
Why can they not just once put the well-spoken, well-mannered, well-dressed, average Southern person on the TV to explain? Because the reporter always had to translate.
Well, see, that's proof of professional disaster victims. Because they always had the same woman.
Yeah. Or that same man,
Yeah.
little 21-year-old, dumb little twerpy hillbilly didn't graduate the 4th grade. And God help us all, he didn't have the common sense either.
Yeah.
It's bad enough he wasn't educated,
Yeah.
but he had no common sense.
Yeah.
It was either one of them two that were always, if you were a Yankee watching the news, that's all you ever saw. Same thing in the Midwest, it was worse.
Yeah.
Because instead of that 38-year-old woman, no, it was some 22-year-old or 19-year-old with one on her tit, one on her hip, and one holding onto her skirt.
Yeah.
One holding onto her house coat at the trailer park.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Kansas, Illinois, Missouri. Yeah. That's what we seen in the 70s on TV when shit would happen.
That's actually what was there.
I'm glad you
It
said
wasn't
that.
just your perception of
I'm
it.
glad you said that.
That's the ones that they always seem to seek out, that one. I always had to find that one. That was the one that went.
I've driven through Missouri and Kansas, Ohio, Southern Illinois, Indiana. I'm glad you said that because I wasn't going to.
Well, they always find that one. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
They always find that person that's going to stand out and be ridiculous.
And,
I mean, you
and
remember
they put
that,
the camera
you remember
right in front of them and they get worse than ridiculous.
You remember the meme of the black lady? Ain't nobody got time for that. It's a farm. You remember her?
I'm listening.
There was a fire or something.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah.
a farm.
Yeah.
Yeah. She was the most stereotypical that you could possibly think of.
I don't know. I've met plenty of Southern black women.
But
Women of
this
color.
lady
What's the right
what-
term not to offend everybody in this damn
But
country?
anyway, she was the most stereotypical version of that
Yeah.
you could possibly think of.
And she had those
And
nice
she was
chubby,
alive,
and she had those nice chubby Aunt Jemima cheeks.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I've met some wonderful. What's the term? Is it nigger, negroid, negro, black, colored,
I don't think there is a correct term.
African
Because
American?
anything you call them, they're going to get offended by.
Okay.
And some of them are going to be just as offended by all of them except one of them. You know, whichever one that they identify with, that's the one that they're not going to be offended by.
Possibly.
And then some of them are just like, my name's Roy. You know, that's who I am.
Quite honestly, yes, you are Roy, and I like you, Roy. And black is not to refer to you as a person; it's to refer to you as in a descriptive manner.
Yeah.
As you, if you were describing me, would say he's white.
Yeah.
You know, Crayola took Negro off their crayons. The French word for black.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they used to have it written in English and French.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
that. It's not, but it still says white.
But they don't have it written in French on them anymore. They have it written in Spanish on them now, don't
Probably.
they? I mean,
But I think the
I know
Spanish.
that they used to have them written in French. Some of them did anyway.
I know the Spanish
because
word for black ain't much further from the French word.
I remember them having French on them. And like
The big
60,
164 box. Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that all of us wanted for mommy to go to school with, but she got us that damn 12-pack or 8-pack.
That's all they would let us take.
Oh, school, yeah.
They wouldn't let us have a bigger box.
See, up in, well,
Because we couldn't find, I remember I got in trouble in school one year because, you know, we couldn't find the just 8-pack.
so you had to have the 12 or the 24,
Like a
16.
pack, I think. And, yeah, I got in trouble in school.
Yeah. The 164 pack.
We had to find the whole. You know, my mom was like.
Yeah, they ran out at Walmart.
There was no Walmart.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sure there was one, but there wasn't one anywhere near here at that time.
Yeah, that's like when I was in school, you could have the 16 or 24 pack. That was fun. But the 164 you weren't supposed to have, so you should. So,
But that one had a pencil, the crayon sharp.
Well, no, the 24 pack sometimes did too if you bought this more expensive. But anyways, so you'd show up, everybody would show up at school with the 16 or 24 pack. You know, but the rich kids, yeah. A week or two after school started, you see sneaking out of the back in their desk.
Yeah.
And when it came time for coloring, they'd pull that sucker out. That was a status symbol, let me tell you. But, oh, I digress. This is terrible. How do we get on crayons? I made a crack the other day. Someone posted, and this woman ain't got no kids going to school anymore. Hasn't for a while. And her grandbabies are just maybe in the next year might go to school.
Yeah.
And she posted school orientation tonight.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm sorry, we start school quick in the south because, you know, compared to the north, but she's kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
And I know they ain't starting school in August. And I'm sitting there. Oh, so they're going to start confusing the kids before school starts this year.
Yeah.
Probably we're telling the parents about what gender they should put down on their kids' stuff. Because God forbid if we use the actual DNA of the child.
Yeah.
Incoming.
Yeah, flying low.
Yeah, well,
I think it's
when the damn displays go. Yeah. No, there was a helicopter.
I couldn't really tell because of the angle of the sound and everything. I thought it might have been a truck.
I know you've been around helicopters almost all your life living in this area.
Especially right there, up down there where I
Oh,
live.
you mean where they used to chase the cattle?
No, that's down there.
No, they did it up there just over,
really?
the Conecuh River on the Brooklyn Road off to the right as you're going out.
Oh,
The
yeah.
farmer there, it's all those pine trees.
Yeah.
Back in there's a huge patch.
Oh, well, yeah, there's a landing pad over there where they do mock.
Yeah, we're not supposed to know about that pad. Supposed to go there either.
Yeah, okay.
But anyway, yeah, they got caught chasing. Farmer
Yeah.
couldn't figure out why his cows were always
panicky.
Yeah.
And when he would go to put their feet up, they weren't coming. So he stuck it, staked it out for a few days.
Yeah.
Yeah, those hot shots, when they'd come in, they were chasing his cattle around.
Yeah,
the field.
same thing happened down here at Wing. That was,
He got the tail numbers off that chopper.
the
made
guy
a
down
phone
at
call.
Wing made a bunch of phone calls, nobody ever did anything about it.
Did he
ended
put a
up
bullet
shooting-
in one?
Yeah, he ended up shooting the
You
helicopter.
can't explain that to the flight line crew chief
Yeah.
when you come back.
And he had told them for like, I don't know,
I'm gonna
months,
shoot that
maybe
bitch.
even years, that he was gonna shoot the thing if they didn't do something about it. And because he had replaced miles
A
of
fence and his cows are
cows.
gaining weight.
Well, he had actually
break
lost some
away.
cows because of it.
Yeah.
His herd had stampeded, some of his cows got trampled, some of them got injured going through the fences, got run over after they broke out.
And it's his responsibility now to pay for that car that just got totaled on that 1,200-pound Angus.
Yeah. And so he ended up, I think, actually getting money out of Rucker because of it. I'm not sure if it was Rucker or if it was actually federal government or at what level the lawsuit ended up being, but it was like he had to go to court because he shot the helicopter. And in the thing, he ended up coming out on top of it
Yeah.
because it's like,
It shouldn't have been flying that low
Yeah.
where it was, yeah. Well, the guy over this way, he got the tail numbers, called it in while it was happening.
yeah,
And those two helos, when they hit Fort Rucker, they had people waiting and they divided the crews up
yeah,
and interviewed them. And I guess a few crew members were, if you're an E1 or two, and the brass is putting the screws to you in a little room, guess what? Screw my E6, screw that damn pilot. I'm talking. I'm not losing my half month's pay because it's only $400 damn as it is. And yeah, some chopper plants got grounded. Bad. It's grounding a pilot. Yeah, that's worse than taking his pay or reduction in rank. Because that follows him the rest of
when me
his.
and my mom first got married, we lived just the other side of that field.
Okay.
And when we first got married, we lived in a little trailer that was down there.
Oh boy, you're lucky it didn't land on his side.
They knocked my antenna down. Because you have to have an antenna.
Above the tree line, yeah.
But it was not
It
tall
was
enough
not
to
100
require
a light.
it was not tall enough to require a light. They regularly clip tops of the trees down there. And they knocked over my antenna. And you've got to have an antenna up above those trees
To get
to be able to
anything.
get a signal. Because all you're going to get is WSFA. If you
You
don't
ain't
have-
even get that anymore. Trust me, I tried at my house.
Yeah. And so, we ended up having to get satellite
Mm-hmm.
because of that. Because every time I put the damn thing back up, it knocked it down again.
Well, I told you about.
And it wasn't them actually hitting it.
It was a
It
rotor
was just a
wash.
wash off of it. It was because they were flying so close to the treetops.
Well, I
And
told
hell, that rotor wash would knock the damn tops out of the pine trees
Oh, yeah.
in the spring when it's, as soon as the fresh buds
Yeah.
come up. I mean, they're on the ground.
I told you
I
about
mean,
the afternoon I was out, and it wasn't spring, thank goodness. But we had a few dead limbs fall.
Yeah.
The rotor wash actually, not thank you, but actually blew my driveway clean.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
that's
I'm sorry, man, that's, yeah.
But
His
see, we're
skin-
so close to
Yeah.
that pad though, when they start on approach to
No
come
pad.
down.
No bad,
Because they have to come in because of whatever it is.
the
they're doing.
airport's 6 miles
They have to
away.
come in,
Yeah,
like, to land on
well,
that pad
and they're
for
also,
what they're doing.
they're also practicing.
Yeah,
military,
exactly. They're
hot zone
practicing certain-
landings and stuff.
Yeah.
But no. The nearest pad, 5 miles.
Yeah.
So no excuse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because even if they're coming from over here to land at that pad over there by my house, they're still It's still
they're 10
high.
miles apart.
I mean,
Yeah, I'm in the middle. Yeah, y'all should be at altitude. Sorry.
Yeah.
I told the wife, and I'm gonna do it one day, maybe when I get rid of the shop or something, I'm gonna put my model rockets together, get me some PVC pipe. And I'm just saying, man, if that pilot's ever been in combat or ever been in serious combat training, when he sees that smoke trail headed straight for his ass, there's gonna be some frantic maneuvering going on. No, it's a smoke trail. He don't know. He knows what the hell's making that smoke trail.
Yeah, it's something coming at you.
Yeah, and then you normally do it. Yeah, I thought about hiking up my paint. So they have been long enough. I could hike my paintball gun probably and give them a nice 60s style paint job on the other side, multicolor. Yeah, I thought about that. Explain.
And PVC pipe.
Yeah, I thought about that.
The
Yeah,
one that's the right size
Yeah.
for the paintball.
Yeah. Explain that to your crew chief. Ground crew chief, why your chopper needs to be repainted. Not because it got sandblasted landing either. Yeah. I don't know if I'm brave enough to get out there with a rifle.
Yeah.
Because if I did that, instinct might take over and I might hit something that might be needed.
But you know, when we moved back over here, you know, we live in the house that's next door to that trailer now.
Yeah.
And when we moved back from back over here, it was just as bad. Couldn't use the antenna because I wouldn't bought a digital antenna, you know. And
Cheap bastard like me.
and well, I couldn't afford satellite at the time.
And they didn't have cable out there yet.
They still don't have cable on that side of the river. I mean, and the bad thing is, B&L cable is just on hilltop, just up the road. And
Yeah,
they still don't go on that side of the river.
Literally, they could run it straight from there to your house. It wouldn't cost them but a mile's worth of cable.
But they have to cross the river. They're on this side of the river. We're on that side of the river.
It's not
So they have to cross the
it's
river.
not-
They can't throw the cable across the river.
I got a grenade launcher they can borrow. If we'll get it across, we'll fit one of the. We got a Springfield. We'll put the grenade launching device on it and sit the line throwing device. Yeah,
But
we'll get it across.
I tried putting my digital antenna and couldn't do it. I could still get a few channels, you know.
Yeah.
But I couldn't do it. We ended up having to go back to satellite, which now I'm down to Netflix and Amazon because I'm watching things.
Yeah, wait till they raise your data rates or lower your data amount.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a lot of companies that do that. So far, CenturyLink hasn't done that, but let's just do that.
We are on
a lot of
their
this
system.
Comcast.
We're on their system right now. Hush.
But yeah, the little satellite was just it was too much for nothing. I mean, it was never
anything but
nobody ever watched anything on there. Everybody was always, my kids were always watching crap on YouTube, and my wife watches stuff on Hulu or Netflix or Amazon.
Yeah.
Well, she don't watch Amazon that much. I watch stuff on Amazon more than she does. But you know, we're always using those.
And you can hook that up to the big screen now.
Yeah. Well, I've got a
Wi-Fi capable in it.
the little box that makes your TV a smart TV. Roku. It's just basically a little thing that lets you do all the services like you can do the Amazon and Netflix and all that stuff.
Yeah, see, I'm not paying. I pay $25.
You see, well, I already pay for all those services. I get Amazon Prime, you know, for the movies and TV, plus for the free shipping. And then I got Netflix because I watch a lot of shit that's on Netflix. I don't watch a lot of shit that's on all those thousands of channels.
Then you get that, everybody always stays in that certain range in the household because, that's really what you want to watch. Unless there's something super special you want to catch, it's only going to be on that.
all
outrigger
those
channel.
hundreds of channels that have all the reruns on them,
Yeah.
all that shit I find on the internet.
I can get that
All
on,
those reruns.
I get that on network, just watching network off basic cable. Or watching the local cable station.
Well, if my antenna would reach up high enough where I get knocked over, I could probably get it on there. There used to be 2 or 3 good digital channels
Yeah.
that were like semi-local.
Well, the new one
That
coming
showed a
out,
lot of old stuff, like,
like MeTV or something does.
yeah, like a lot of,
Andy
Griffith,
yeah.
Leave It Beaver, all your old, the shit that was reruns when I was a kid.
Yeah.
That,
Well, some of it was in its second time of reruns, yeah.
well, it was like anything between the 60s.
Actually, when you were a kid, it was in its third run.
Actually, anything from like 50s
Yeah,
all the way through to current
to
stuff
80s, yeah.
was played anywhere from the mid 70s to the, all the way shit till probably the 90s
I know when I'm enjoying.
when they stopped syndicating.
That's in syndication now is 2.5 Men.
Oh yeah.
When Joanne lets me stay up past 9. I've been able to catch a few of them, but
Yeah, those were pretty good. The early ones.
yeah, these are the
I
early
didn't
ones.
care for the later.
Yeah, I liked it when, what's her name, the neighbor was stalking Charlie, but
Oh, yeah.
she really wasn't. She was psychoanalyzing him and curing him of his problems. But then we're getting too deep into the damn.
Yeah.
But anyways, these are the early ones, and I forgot just how politically incorrect they were, and just how. There's a reason it originally aired after 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Not that would stop them from running it at 3 o'clock in the afternoon when the kids got home today.
Well, it depends on what channel that they run it on to get syndication.
Yeah, because some won't run it
until a certain time.
after prime time, because it ain't suited for prime time audiences still today. And I just sitting there thinking, oh my God, I can't believe they got away with that shit. Because I also
Well, that time slot they originally aired at was considered prime time, but it was
adult prime time.
it was the later prime time.
Yeah.
It was like the more adult shows were aired there. I mean, they were still tamed by a lot of standards.
Yeah, by
because of the
HBO.
fact- Yeah, HBO or well, hell, even 80 and stuff like that. They have.
But see, I remember the good old days when the networks had censors.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe they let Leave It to Beaver. Weren't you a little hard on the beef last night? Or yesterday? That's actually in the show a few times.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that went over the fence. They were too academic back then. Yeah. But, yeah. When, my goodness, even at 10 o'clock at night, you're lucky if they said crap.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But Archie Bunker could say nigger all day long. And George Jefferson would come back with
And I saw something somewhere one time. I think it was one or the other of them talking about it on something one time, how the two of them would just.
Oh God, I can't imagine being on that set.
But how the way that they would, like, when they were both on the same show and going on at each other, and then after the fact, like between takes and stuff, and how they would just like crack up.
Oh yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I meant. It had to be hilarious because I'll tell you what, the way he would act, both of them, they made you think. Yeah, it was about ready to go to blows at times on the show.
And it was just so ridiculous between them because it was like, oh my God,
did we really just do that?
Yeah, did we really just do that? I mean,
Oh, and did the network censors actually gonna let us get away with that?
yeah, yeah, that kind of thing. And,
Look, Red Fox,
yeah,
San Francisco. I mean, my God, what has happened to this country in my lifetime? It's like, can't you people just look at each other and go, ah, yeah. Or yeah, that's that nigger I know down the road. Or yeah, that's that white trash I know down the road. Yeah, get over it.
yeah.
There are some shows trying to, but of course they get canceled soon. As soon as the PC police or what, I don't even know what to call some of these people anymore. We used to have nice labels like liberal.
We call them social justice warriors now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as they get wind that there might be a show that conservatives like,
Yeah.
whether it be because it's not PC or it's issue oriented, or the fact that it's not issue oriented.
Oh, yeah.
You know, yeah.
Oh, yeah, because if it's issue oriented, it has to be
Their
the
issue.
that they back. And which means pretty much anything that's going to piss off any group of people or anything that's going to champion a very small group of people that may not have even existed until they made them up.
The side days.
Yeah. That's the biggest thing. That's the thing that gets me.
Or that show.
That they have to create a niche in order to champion it.
Or that show that is walking that perfect line between conservative and liberalism.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, like where you got the super conservative guy and the
well, you don't even have to show both sides. Just one that stays neutral all the time. But then all of a sudden, an issue comes up. And if it happens to be a conservative issue and they do a show that's pro that issue, it's canceled the next day.
Yeah. Well, people like to talk about how conservative the ranch is.
The ranch.
It's I was telling you about it a few weeks or a few months ago. It's the one with Sam Elliott and Ashton Kutcher and a bunch of people from that 70s show are also on it. They like to talk about how conservative it is. But there's also a big liberal side to that show too, because the mother on that show is a freaking huge hippie. I mean, and she's super liberal.
Yeah.
I mean, and there's also some other liberal things on there, but
of course her husband is conservative and actually makes a big dollar, but she's not giving
well,
it
it's
all
her
to the
ex-husband
poor.
now. But
That makes it even worse. That
Well,
makes it even worse because now she's getting alimony.
they were like in the process of getting a divorce or something for like 20 years, and so they finally got divorced.
Well, they're on and off.
But I mean, she's like super liberal, but she's also, you can see that she's also got conservative values. And
That would be the common. No, that's just the
as a lot of
common.
the other people
That's
are,
just the common
they have
sense
yeah,
showing
it's
through.
just, well, it's just the fact that it shows them like being actual people. Because most people have
a little of both.
a little of both.
If you're all one,
Then you're probably
an
trying
extreme one, you're probably part of the problem.
Yeah, or you're just trying to be like what you think is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Instead of.
And then again, you're part of the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's always been those who can meet in the middle
Yeah.
and solve the most
Yeah,
problems.
because that's where most people are. They may not be in the middle on the same things.
Yes.
You know, you're not going to match up exactly right with somebody else necessarily.
Can you imagine what a boring world that would be?
Oh yeah. I mean, well,
have our conversation.
Daryl, we have three separate views on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And we usually end up coming together.
We can all find a little bit of common ground with that one issue enough that we can say, okay,
yeah. And
or if we can't, we're like, okay, we're adults enough, we can agree to disagree. Let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna hate each other. Even though we can get rather heated and sometimes even pull out some personal shots at me.
Something like where we don't agree on a topic, and then, you know, you show all your different views on that topic, and it's like, okay, I understand. I still don't agree.
Yeah, but I get it.
understand.
Yeah, I
and
know where you're
can see why
coming
you
from.
think that way about it.
Yep.
So it,
Yeah, because
you
Daryl,
don't have to agree with it just to say, okay, I can see where you're coming from.
to me, Daryl's,
I still don't like it, but I mean, you know,
to me, Daryl's white, liberal on issues that I'm really not.
yeah.
And me and him have had some lively discussions, especially after a show coming home, and we both had got a few in us, and our tongues are loose, and we're bored and tired.
Yeah.
But it doesn't stop me from
Yeah.
liking them. I mean,
Well, a while back, he was talking about how he was less conservative than he thought he was. He was more like,
Yeah.
he thought maybe he'd be more libertarian
see,
than
that
conservative on a
that
lot of
doesn't
views.
surprise me though.
And,
He's an
and that's kind of where I stand on a lot of stuff too, is more libertarian than conservative, but on a lot of issues, I'm more conservative on a lot of issues, and on a lot of other issues, it's just like, I really don't give.
See, I steer most.
I mean, you do what you do.
I try
You do
to.
what you want to do.
Yeah, my two opinions always go back.
I'm not gonna tell you can't do it, but it's not my thing.
Yeah, as long as you're not doing
You
it in
know,
my house. Yeah,
And that's more of a libertarian view. There is the
and
I don't care.
you're not you're not hurting me.
anything to
You're
do
not
with me.
you're not hurting me. You're not hurting someone else, and you're not hurting the country.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm there
I
too.
mean,
But most of mine, if I steer them back to the very basics of where I believe, it either goes to the Constitution as written and ratified by the first 13 states,
yeah.
or the Bible.
Yeah.
And when I'm talking the Bible, I'm talking Old Testament,
Yeah.
back to
Yeah. But
Jewish law.
That's your.
my niche is the law,
No, your.
my upbringing.
Well, yeah, because your brand of religion, your I don't even know what
my
the proper
basic
term
core
is.
belief system.
Well, yeah, but you're
I don't either.
you're Lutheran, right?
Yeah, but that's just a watered down Catholic.
But what I'm saying is that particular denomination, brand, whatever, I don't know what
And the Catholic
proper term for
and
the different
Catholic just means church,
brands of
religion.
religion
Yeah.
within within Christianity. They're all like different denominations.
Yeah, but
they don't call them denominations outside of like Baptist, Methodist, and
Oh hell, man! Just you don't even want to talk about it, man.
the Catholic.
The Baptist church is chopped up into so many different
Yeah.
pieces. They ain't
But
funny.
what I'm saying is like that.
Yeah.
That's your
Yeah. I
your religious beliefs, I guess, would be.
See, I won't call myself a Christian.
Yeah.
There was no such
Well,
thing.
a lot of Catholics don't call themselves Christians.
Yeah. Well,
So-
Catholic only means church.
Yeah.
And it was a church founded by one of the original apostles.
Yeah.
And I think you can trace almost every one of the churches back to one of their teachings, at least the basic group of
Or
churches.
one of their pupils.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't consider myself a Christian. All of Jesus was a Jew.
Yeah.
Most of his followers and almost every one of his disciples were Jews.
Yeah.
When it first came about, they called it the way.
Yeah. I remember reading that.
So Christian didn't come till after.
Which is funny because
Which
I'm not that religious.
Yeah,
But I have
heard here.
well, I followed a lot. And I used to go to church a lot when I was younger. And there's a lot of things like a lot of
Was it Caesar
a lot of the
Augustus?
teachings of Jesus that
No, it was
that
Constantine.
are like they're relevant.
You want to know when the Christian term came about?
So-
I think it was Constantine.
when the Roman Catholics adopted Christianity as their religion, the
Yeah.
Roman emperor. I think it was Constantine.
Yeah.
I have to check, but I think.
Yeah.
And that's where they established the head of the
Yeah.
church in Rome and all that good shit.
There's a lot of stuff that just.
You ask me what I am, I'll tell you, I am a Judeo-Christian
Yeah.
because it came from Judaism. I do know why.
But
I still think we should be practicing some of the old Jewish stuff.
But Jesus didn't like that stuff.
No, he did.
There was a lot of
And what he didn't like was what had happened
Yeah.
to the priests and the politicians and the Jewish courts, because it was politics and
which is exactly one of the things that's made me not like the churches, which is one of the reasons that I started
self-study,
looking at a lot of
Bible.
stuff, because it's like there's a lot of stuff that he did and said that made a lot of sense to me, but there was a lot of other things in the Bible that made sense to me. I'm like, I can't pretend that this makes sense to me because it doesn't. But the things that do make sense
Are crystal
sound
clear.
realistic to me. That can make sense.
Yes.
So, I just sort of developed this sort of thing that it's like, well, right and wrong and, all this, this.
I get where this comes from. I get why. Yeah.
But as far as the whole religious part of it and everything, I just never could. I just never clicked with it.
And I get that, and a lot of people get turned off because of modern day organized religion.
Yeah. Well, that even is worse. I mean, especially when you look at local churches and how they grow like crops around here, man.
Until there
you
is
have one down the road there, and then 3 months later you have 6 more, and they all started at that one.
you see this
They
ashtray?
left from that
Yeah.
one because they didn't like what
Yeah,
was
you
happening.
see this ashtray?
They couldn't get rid of the preacher,
This
so they moved down the road.
this is the church. All those cigarette butts are the folks.
Yeah,
There was one little argument between this folk and this folk.
yeah.
What over something stupid like what color to paint the sanctuary next. Next thing you know, all those cigarette butts jump out, move out, join a new church or form a new church.
Yeah.
Instead of
I mean, I don't think it's
instead
as
of
bad as it was several years ago, because several years ago, they just,
yeah, it exploded.
There-
Yeah.
tons of churches that were founded in like the last 20 years around here.
Yeah.
And they all started from a few
4 or
Baptist
5 big
churches.
churches, yeah.
They were mostly Baptist churches.
Well, I'm not saying it wasn't the bad. The Lutheran churches had its
Well,
splits.
look at all the Baptist churches
Yeah.
around here.
Sean,
You'll see what
my mama was raised Southern Baptist. I'm got folk in the South all my life, so yeah, we don't even have to go there. That's a whole that's a whole nother thing. I got issue with his with the founder of the Baptist church movement all the way back to Nicaea. I think it was, but because there are some inherent flaws in some of his, as far as what I know and think, and theology.
Well,
I didn't get the
that's where all those splits come from to start with.
Yeah, because it was flawed from the start. Oh my God! There goes the rest of our culture. Yeah, there goes the rest of our customers.
That's even worse, because it's one thing when you have the different denominations that split off from each other for some core fundamental difference.
Yeah, Lutherans, when we meet in the liquor store, we'll shake hands and say, "Hi, how you doing? How's the wife and kids?" "Oh, you talked to pastor this week?" Baptist? They don't know each other in the liquor store. Yeah, I mean that's a good way, especially down here. Up in New York, the Baptists might walk by each other and go, nod the head at each other, and that's it. They don't speak about it outside the liquor store.
Well, the Baptists.
Unless they're
here are
going-
only Baptists on Sunday.
Yeah, unless they're gonna be at the same Super Bowl party.
Yeah,
Yeah, that,
well, that's where only being Baptist on Sunday comes in, see?
yeah. Oh, God, there goes the
Yeah.
customers.
Except for those three atheists. And they're just laughing at all of it.
Yeah, and once the bullets start flying, they ain't gonna be atheists no more. I'm sorry, I've been there. I've seen that happen. It is true. There are no atheists in foxholes. I've seen it. Not necessarily a foxhole. It was in the bottom of a ship going through a minefield, but same difference. I think we better close this up before gun channels.
I
And
think we have
YouTube both.
successfully pissed off everybody we can possibly piss off.
No, I'm sure we left out some new subgroup. Almost, we had to, but
I don't think we offended the furries yet, but otherwise. Yeah, they're who you think they are.
okay. I'm trying to keep up with all this shit. And I'm old. So yeah, my daughters are amazed at when she'll play a piece of music she likes, and I start popping to it. Dad. Yes, I like this song. No, I can't tell you who the hell does it. And yes, it's new, but yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
You know. Or she asked me if I heard the name of a band or something. I said, yeah, I listened to a few of theirs. Damn, Dad, you really are still kind of cool. Yeah.
But just kind of.
Yeah, because, I still get that disgusted, cold shoulder, not talking to you anymore today because you were right. And I don't want to admit it. Treatment.
Yeah.
Okay, this.
Yeah, we're way over.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Which is surprising, and we did that without Derek.
Yeah, that's an accomplishment.
This is Tracy.
And it's Sean.
Thanks for watching Shop Talk. Keep powder dry. I imagine there's guys out there just laugh their ass off through the whole show. Hey, look at these two idiots.
Yep.
Well, anyways, so the stay was basically